This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, ready to go, fresh off.
Ready to go. I think they're about to wrap up right now. It looks like they're all huddling in the middle. So figured we got a few minutes before interviews start. Might as well.
What are you in the bubble today?
No, we were to start off. That was during the filming session. And then they just went outside maybe after 20, 25 minutes, give or take.
Do they let you guys in the bubble?
We did get to go in the bubble. Yeah, it was cool. We haven't been in there, I think, all summer. So I almost forgot what it looked like. Even viewed from there's a platform up top that gives you an entire view of the indoor facility. So we got to see, it was mostly just position drills and stretching inside. And then they moved outside to do teamwork.
You forgot the AC.
You cannot sleep on the AC, man. That felt incredible.
There you go.
It felt incredible.
That's what it was all about, baby. Is the AC. Forget the second level. Forget the view. Forget the positional drills. It was about cooling off, baby. That's what it was all about. All right. So, how was practice today? What did we see today? Did Connor Williams have a clean day today?
From what I could tell, yeah, Connor Williams was clean today. Man, look, I don't think we can hype Javon Holland up enough. Though another interception today, picked off Tua. I don't know if he took it to the house or not, but all three of the quarterbacks were intercepted during 2-minute drills. That's usually where we've seen these picks happen, is when it's like it's situational. It's not just they're playing 11 on 11. It's long distance or it's 2-minute. But man, I really think at this rate, man, Holland might garner some All-Pro votes. I don't know if he'll be first team, but second team All-Pro doesn't technically exist. It's just your second team if you get at least one vote. If he brings this level of play into the season, he's going to get at least one vote.
Did Jalen Waddle practice?
No Jalen Waddle today. We're at a point where I don't expect to see him play Saturday against the Raiders.
Definitely not. No, of course not. If he hasn't practiced all week, there's no way he plays on Saturday. Which by the way, this tells me that dress rehearsal is next week, because you can't spring dress rehearsal on the other team. You got to talk about it and kind of work it out. And I think that's what's going to happen next week against Philadelphia while they're practicing here. The two coaches will be together throughout the week, and they'll be able to talk about what they're going to do on that game in the preseason. So I bet you dress rehearsal is next week. What do you think?
Yeah, it actually would have made sense to me for dress rehearsal to be this week, because next week they'll be able to get, kind of game simulation during joint practices. And I think that's kind of why we didn't see Tua and a lot of the starters play against Tampa Bay, because they were able to prepare like it was a game during practice against an opponent. So I could have seen that happening, but no, I don't. Mike he's one of these guys. He tells us he really believes in the process, and he's one of these people who, when he says that, I actually believe him. I don't think he's just BSing us. I think that he legitimately doesn't know.
I can explain it for you. I can explain it for you why it makes sense that it's actually game 3. Mike McDaniel's a smart guy. So a smart guy, a smart coach, wants his players to succeed. So how do you succeed? Well, you prepare your players the best way possible. You're installing a new offense, a new offensive scheme, a new blocking scheme. You've got a new center, and you've got some new receivers. And you've got new running backs and a fullback. So all of a sudden now you need to get everybody as many reps as possible. So before you're going to have a dress rehearsal, maybe you're better off having the full training camp and the full 3 weeks of the preseason to give Connor Williams as much snaps as possible. So when you do your dress rehearsal, everybody is prepared as much as possible. So it is better to play this game, then prepare next week, and then have your rehearsal, because you've given everybody the proper time to prepare. I don't know if we lost him. Did we lose him? I think we lost him. We lost him to the Black Bear in the, what's that called? The photog room where you develop the photos and it's really dark. What's that called? But everybody knows what that room is called except me because I'm an idiot
Not
right now.
me
I'm
and
forgetting.
you.
No, you know what it is.
C-Man, come on, C-Man, jumping. Oh, he's back.
Somebody will say it.
He's back in. There you go.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that room where they develop photos and it's dark?
The dark room.
Oh, it is dark.
It's literally called the dark room.
It is right. It is called the dark room. You turned into the black bear in the dark room because it was.
Yeah, you know,
It was
I
just
don't. I got a phone call, which makes me roll my eyes. I don't get phone calls until I'm doing something.
Okay,
So
so did you hear what I just said? That I think
I did.
McDaniel's being a smart guy, and he's giving them the 2 weeks of training camp, the full 3 weeks of practice. So Connor Williams has as many reps. So the offensive line has as many reps. So everybody has as many reps. So when you do your dress rehearsal in the third week, you're as prepared as possible for the rehearsal. Your thoughts?
It tracks. I mean, like I said, it definitely tracks. But Mike also strikes me as an unorthodox kind of person. So what makes sense conventionally, he might have either another explanation or another perspective on it. So like I said, nothing that he would do at this point, nothing he does at this point would shock me, except playing Jalen Waddle on Saturday. That would shock me.
Yes.
But I would expect to see a little bit of Tua this week. I think you got to be careful with. I think you give him a series, maybe two, if they go 3 and out, and you don't really learn much about them in that opening series. But it's been a bad week for these quarterbacks, so I think give them the opportunity to practice against somebody other than a defense that knows the entire playbook.
Right. Yeah.
Would probably go a long way.
Yeah, limited playbook because you're not really running a lot of your stuff. The other thing, how was Tua's day outside of the interception?
Fine. Had a good deep ball to Tyreek Hill toward the end of practice. Otherwise, typical mix of his crossing routes and typical accuracy that we've seen from him. It wasn't bad. It was fine. I think I'm ready to. I would say this entire week has just been fine for him. He's had weeks and he's had periods throughout training camp where it's like, wow, this guy's spectacular, or wow, this guy can really sling it. And he's had times where he looks okay. And this was one of those weeks where I think he just looks okay.
Teron Armstead, he was limited yesterday. How was he today?
Did not see Teron Armstead play, but I don't think that I don't think it's a case of needing to worry much about his availability, his readiness for the season. I think he's going to be fine. I think this is one of those where the staff is really big on limiting reps and trusting the science. I think Mike made a comment yesterday that their science department here, those guys, they're not science minors, they're science majors. So I think he trusts their opinion and he trusts the process in that regard.
Who stood out today? Give me a camp performer today.
Braylon Edwards. Braylon Sanders had an excellent catch, contested catch deep downfield from Teddy Bridgewater during 2-minute drills. Javon Holland, who I think is at the podium right now, so I might have to go. Javon Holland was as excellent as ever, man. Like I said, I know I already mentioned him, but this is somebody who I don't think we can overhype. I think he's the real deal, man. And I hate going this far in on somebody's training camp performance, but look, you can't be too excited about this guy.
Oh no, I'm with you all the way. One more thing before I let you go. Did you see the Najee Harris story?
Which one?
Well, he on the podcast, The Pivot, he talked about how he and Saban did not get along at all, and they had a lot of run-ins to the point that he left Alabama for 2 weeks because he could not get along with Saban, and then he came back and they had a little more screaming, then they finally hashed it out, and he finally got to know him because he's a Cali dude. And he goes, I don't know how many Cali dudes Saban had, but I'm different. I'm not going to sit here and let you just rip me and not talk down to me and belittle me and all that. And I was just and again, that's Saban, so I get it. But if I change the name from Najee Harris to Tua Tagovailoa, how does that story change? What kind of traction does that get?
Probably a lot more. Probably a lot more. Tua is a quarterback, and Tua is Tua at the end of the day. So I think if you're a quarterback, you kind of have to come to expect a little harsher treatment and a little different judgment, different standard. But I mean, look, even if they didn't get along, they won multiple titles. So
No,
something's working.
I get that they hammered it out, but if it would have been Tua that left for 2 weeks, bro, people would be ripping him. Oh, he's soft and this and
Oh
that.
yeah, of course.
And that's not happening with Najee. We're understanding that it's not Najee. We know it's freaking Saban, that he can be a jerk. Obviously, that he's an ogre and doesn't know the guy you're covering. He adjusts to everybody that he deals with, media, football players, everybody. He's really good at adjusting like that.
Yeah. Well, look, I like Najee. I think a lot of people like Najee. He's been great with the media, so maybe that's another reason why he's not getting ripped. But it's old news, and clearly it worked out in the end. So I think it's a non-story at this point.
Yeah, I'm saying if it was Tua, it would have been a different story. All right, get do your work, brother. I appreciate you. We'll catch up later on. You be good. All right.
Yes, sir. You do the same.
You got it.
Bye.
Marcel, Louis-Jacques, you now have the edge. All you got to do is order it at myedgedrink.com and use our code Big O. Get 10% off for the best energy drink on the planet. Can't get it in a store. You can only get it online. myedgedrink.com. Get 10% off. Use our code Big O.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.